Adam Schiff is one of the lowest forms of scum I've ever dealt with in politics. He's a horrible human being.
Okay, let's start with the Schiff comments. Fire away.
Right. So when the president reportedly calls Adam Schiff one of the lowest forms of scum, look, that sharpness, that disgust, it feels completely earned to a lot of folks. I mean, we're talking years, right? Years of what many see as just politically motivated attacks, these endless witch hunts trying to tear down leaders. Now, if one side is constantly relentlessly probing, then the pushback you get, even if it sounds harsh, well, that's just accountability, isn't it? How can you sit there and demand, perfect politeness while totally ignoring the alleged hypocrisy from rivals? Rivals who reportedly have had their own serious issues, like mortgage fraud probes, sort of just slide by without the same level of scrutiny. It demands a response.
Okay, I hear the frustration, but framing it around some vague mortgage fraud probe, isn't that just changing the subject? A bit of deflection? The core issue for me isn't whether someone should push back, it's the way it's done. Using this kind of, honestly, chilling, super personal language, calling someone a sick person. It feels designed to shut down dissent, to poison the well of actual debate. It comes across less like accountability and more like, weaponizing power, creating this kind of political theater where bullies try to shout down integrity. It's depressing, frankly.
Depressing? That's quite a dramatic take.
Well, I also give, I give a lot of money to the White House. As you know, I give my salary.
Okay, let's pivot. Let's talk about something maybe a bit more constructive. The White House restoration funds. Now, I look at the reports of the president pouring his own money into fixing up what's described as a neglected symbol of our nation, and I see, heartfelt patriotism, a real sacrifice. It shows a commitment to our heritage, something arguably missing before, when previous folks reportedly let it decay. Now it's allegedly starting to gleam like it should. That seems like a pretty straightforward act of public service to me.
I get why you'd frame it that way, but allow me to offer a slightly different angle. Is it selfless dedication, or does it risk looking like, a self-promoting boast, turning public service into a kind of ego trip? And maybe, more seriously, when significant private money, especially from the president himself, goes into restoring a public building, doesn't that raise some tricky questions? Like about transparency, potential conflicts of interest down the line regarding access or influence? Maybe we should want, clear arm's-length accountability for maintaining public treasures, not just relying on one person's reported generosity theater?
Okay, before we get into the policy mess, I do want to say we are both genuinely glad to be part of what the next-gen business is doing.
Oh, absolutely. Their mission to, try and cool down the extremes in America by sharing reports from all sides, it's really crucial work. Seriously, listeners should check out their free Become a Reporter challenge. It's worthwhile.
Right, okay.
I think the Democrats have gone totally crazy, and you don't know what they're going to do because they don't care about the people. I really think they have no leadership.
Back to the gridlock. The policy extensions, honestly, the frustration here is just overwhelming. You watch leaders allegedly just drag their feet on what seem like simple solutions. So when President Trump says, quite passionately, that Democrats have gone totally crazy and don't care about the people, well, I see that as a pretty understandable reaction to pure obstructionism. Just approve the extension. Get the country back to work. Why make it so complicated? It feels manufactured.
See, I'm not quite buying that simple solution line, because let's be real, these things are often genuinely complex pieces of legislation. And throwing around accusations like crazy, does that actually help, or does it just ramp up the tension without offering any real way forward? This kind of reckless finger-pointing, especially during a crisis like a potential shutdown, it just means that the people who are actually affected, the communities feeling the pain, they get caught in the crossfire while politicians score points with polarizing rhetoric. It feels like we need, some compassion, some actual problem solving, not just more political performance art that makes everything worse.